Hi, this is Conrad Zimmerman with FistShark Marketing. If you dig the show, we hope you'll consider supporting us with a small monthly contribution through Patreon. For less than the price of traditional therapy, you can help us continue to make you seem sane by comparison. Just visit patreon.com/FistShark or click the big Patreon button at fistshark.com for more details. And thanks for listening.
I don't know, Jim. I think we might have a problem with this one, because the response is poor. It seemed really solid. It's an important message that we're delivering, but I feel like maybe something might have gone wrong in the presentation or in our approach, because it didn't connect the way I think we thought it would.
Are you quite sure? Because, look, I know that I've tried to pitch this guy before, and I realize that some of his previous acts haven't worked. But Medicine Boy? Come on. The Boston Health Association were very hot on him. They've gone all in on this. If you're saying something has come off the rails with Medicine Boy, BHA is going to be very annoyed. And it'll be my ass on the line. And I really wouldn't like my ass to be on the line. So what I really mean to say is it's going to be Craig's ass on the line.
I don't know, man. The numbers don't lie. People find him kind of creepy.
Creepy?
Yeah, I mean, it's not so much the kids, because kids will like just about anything, and there is a sort of playful cartoon aspect to Medicine Boy that I think really works.
Well, he's a fun, colourful cartoon scamp of a lad who encourages children to listen to their doctors and take their medicine, even if it's icky.
Right, and I think that's a very important cause. I'm really I'm proud that we're a part of it, because it's so important that we get kids listening to doctors and taking whatever medicines they prescribe for whatever conditions that they may or may not even have. We want to get them young, right? I mean, that's the goal.
Yeah.
So I'm in favor of that. I think it's really crucial. I think that the long-term gains are going to be phenomenal. But I don't know. Do you think maybe it's like the outfit? Because it seems almost skimpy in the way he's wearing it.
It's not designed that way. It's not sexualized, or that would be creepy.
That would, yeah, and it's not. It's not sexualized, but
no, it's a boy's costume, like very
Dickies,
stereotypical cartoon. Yeah, very stereotypical. You know, blue suit, little cap,
short pants. Yeah,
the white socks, black shoes. You're right, but very, very Dickensian, but in the classical sense, not in the depressed Oliver Twist sense. More of the, just hello, I'm an happy-go-lucky boy. Like. I don't see why that's an issue. I realise the actor we got versus the clothing size we got, there's some discrepancies there. But to me, that added to the charm. It looked quite funny to me. It's like, oh, Medicine Boy loves medicine so much that he doesn't think about getting the right sized clothes. That was my read on it.
I mean, these were almost children-sized clothes, like maybe a husky child.
Yeah, Medicine Boy is a boy, so he wears boys' clothes.
Right.
I don't care what you're not seeing about this. This is bizarre to me. You're saying that the Medicine Boy, just a happy, cheery child, wearing happy, cheery child clothes is creepy. It's incomprehensible.
But I think you raised the point. I think you called it. I think it might be the actor that we chose. I know you like him a lot, and I know you want him to find work, and I mean, he is talented. Like, that voice.
It's the voice that does it. Drink down your medicine. 2 spoonfuls of good living. Wow! What a catchphrase. What a voice. What a talent. C'est magnifique.
Yeah, but maybe he's not the right person to cast in the physical performance, because, I mean, at 380 pounds
mm-hmm.
and about 48 years of age?
Give or take.
Like, the character's a child. Like, maybe this is just a slight miscasting.
Right, but you said that about Cowboy Boy.
I did, yes. I did say that about Cowboy Boy.
I'm starting to get a feeling that you just don't like Bob.
I like Bob. I like Bob a lot. I think he's...
I'm a cowboy! Bang, bang, bang!
I like him.
Gotta put on my spurs and ride my horse to town. Rustling up me some varmints. Gonna lasso a bandit. Bang, bang, bang with my 6-shooter. What's wrong with Bob doing that in a cowboy costume?
Apart from the fact that it's just kind of high-pitched and it just didn't work for Cowboy. Like, a Cowboy, I expect something a little bassier, something a little more serious. I mean, these are hard-working survivors. And, like, Medicine Boy, that voice works great for Medicine Boy. It really does.
So now you've got another problem. Last time it was the voice. It was, he doesn't sound like Clint Eastwood enough for my liking because I'm Conrad, expert of cowboy times. And now we're upset that his voice is, too good? Is he too perfect? Listen to your doctors and don't ask questions. I'm the medicine boy. Yum, yum. These pills taste like health.
But he can't even button up the shirt. Like, it just hangs sort of loose on his shoulders. And I say on his shoulders, stretched across his shoulders. It's so wide open, you can see his nipples.
We took your criticisms on board. That's why we shaved his belly and put some L'Oreal on the sores.
Oh, and I gotta say, shaving his body hair in the pattern of a caduceus was creative. But, I don't know, I feel like we could just find someone who's, I don't know, a child to do it? Or maybe a mascot costume, you know? Like, we could get him into a big mascot costume that looks like a child, but with big childish clothing on that fits and so forth. Is he insistent on being a totally live performer? Because I really think we could do better.
Well, the problem is, if you get him in a suit, he won't be able to get his drink in there.
That's true, because it is all about drinking the medicine.
You know he won't work without a scotch.
That's true. Medicine Boy needs his medicine, too. Okay, all right. I mean, I think we could still make it work.
Does he need to do more skateboard tricks?
Actually executing one skateboard trick successfully might be enough at this point.
We've been practicing with him, and he's almost gotten the skateboard all the way over the dog this time.
So, maybe 10, 12, 15 more dogs and we've got it?
Probably. The good news is we've got no shortage of dogs.
That is true. That's true. They seem to just be drawn to him.
That might be because of his brief and admittedly that time rather creepy character of Dog Boy.
Oh, I don't know if I'm familiar with Dog Boy.
Yeah. Don't inquire about Dog Boy or Dogging Boy, who was very closely related. That's how I found him, funnily enough.
You found him dogging?
Well, there were a lot of us there. I don't want to alarm you, but we have a serious Bret Michaels hair problem.
Oh, I really try not to think about his hair, at all.
You don't want to think about his humid hair.
That damp, sticky mat that sits on his head, hangs down like so many oiled tentacles? No.
You know his hair's a wig, don't you?
Wait, really? That's a wig?
He wears a wig. That's why he has the bandana on all the time.
That's holding it in place. Okay.
Oh yeah, you take that off, he looks like Hulk Hogan, brother. It's just a long strip of hair. Very damp, very musky, very sultry hair. The weird thing is it's made out of his own hair.
Bret Michaels is wearing wigs fashioned from Bret Michaels' own hair.
Yes. Here is where I've got to give the devil his due. Bret Michaels is not many things. One thing he is a forward thinker when it comes to hair exclusively. In that regard, he is Zhuge Liang
So he played the long game with the hair. He anticipated.
He saw it coming. He says from about the age of 22, 23 is when he started requesting the barbers not sweep up his hair after a haircut. He'd collect them in a little baggie. And he'd take that little baggie and he would take it to a shed at the family house where he had an airtight lead container that he'd just pop that little baggie of hair in. Now, Bret Michaels, of course, is, I believe, 72 now. So that is a lot of hair.
That is a lot of hair. That's...
Once a month for decades now. He has enough hair to produce wigs until he dies.
And so somewhere along the line, he just switched to having these wigs produced based off of the hair he'd been collecting for some 30, 40 years.
Yes, knowing that he would go bald and it would ruin his image and that he would be ineligible for reality TV shows where women pretend that they want to have sex with him. He knew that would be a no-go if he looked like Richard O'Brien. So, thought ahead, get a bandana. Now it's time to crack open the lead container once the follicles start failing. He crafts what is essentially a necklace for the back of the head out of this hair and just glues it on with a bit of wacky glue. He's got no feeling in the back of his head, so it doesn't really matter when he tears it off. But the problem with this hair is sealed up in the lead container, they're fine. As soon as Bret Michaels' old hair is exposed to air, it starts to degenerate fast. And that's what gives it that sickly sweet, garbagey smell.
Yeah, okay. I had wondered. I just assumed that it was another cologne line that he was developing and and testing out around the... But no, so that's the hair that produces the smell of death.
Yes, which we have tried to mask with some of Bret Michaels' abandoned lines of perfumes and scents. But that did make it worse for a while, because then it was the smell of death, coupled with the smell of children's death, which is a very particular smell, 10 times sadder to smell than regular death. So we stopped using that perfume, which incidentally was called The Death of Children by Bret Michaels.
All right, so then the hair starts to degenerate. Well, then these wigs have basically a limited lifespan, is what you're saying.
Couple weeks.
Yeah.
He's got a couple weeks on that hair.
That's surprising, because like a wig, generally speaking, a wig of human hair would still last a couple of years for most people, at the very least.
Sure, and this would have been a terrible problem for Bret had he not thought ahead, because the guy's a tactical genius when it comes to his own hair.
No, it's clearly playing the long game.
Absolutely.
The long hair game.
The very specific long hair game. He doesn't know what he's doing tomorrow. He knows what his hair is doing tomorrow.
It's going to be in a lead box in his shed. Most
of it, yeah. The one that's currently wrapped around the back of his head could be anywhere by now. That's where the hair problem comes in. Bret Michaels' hair being reduced to a swampy mulch is, on its own, no big deal. Bret Michaels tearing that rotting, sloughing scalp of filth off the back of his perverted head, and then flinging it out the window of his tour bus when he's on the way to Kansas, now we've got a problem.
I guess I don't understand. I mean, it's a clump of sweaty hair. Sure, it's disgusting, but I mean, how much trouble can a discarded wig actually be?
Do we want to count the amount of times that wig has hit someone's windshield and they've gone careening off and hit the side of a bridge or a tunnel or just gone into a ditch?
That happens?
Many, many times. I mean, he's throwing rotten scalps out of his window on interstates. Just statistically, it happens. But then again, I mean, I generally don't count the vehicular deaths, simply because that happens. People throw things out of their tour buses and cause accidents all the time. Miley Cyrus once threw Taylor Swift out, and that caused a massive pile-up.
what's a few more, like, vehicular deaths? Frankly, I think we should probably try and attribute as many deaths related to our clients to vehicular accidents as possible, because then it just sort of gets absorbed into the overall national figures. You know, the statistic pool is so broad that who's going to notice a few more accidents, right? It's not like when Robin Thicke set up the log processing facility, right, where we all knew he was tying women to logs and having them slowly fed towards the blade, right? That's a very specific type of manslaughter. Vehicular manslaughter, no one's going to notice. And that's why we drove that truck through the warehouse in the end, frankly.
Speaking of log processing plants, do you know that Jeremy Renner's opened one recently?
That doesn't seem like his thing. Why are all of our clients getting into logging?
The thing with Jeremy Renner is he may have wood, but it's a different type of log we're talking about.
Right, yeah. He's going to process it, huh?
Yeah. But back to the hair problem. We discard the vehicular deaths, okay? So, you know, that accounts for 10% of the problem. Let's talk about the hair that... He's fucking handfuls of his own shit. That's the problem with Jeremy Renner right now.
Oh, he's fucking... Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can see. You know what? Let's put a pin in that.
Yeah. We'll circle back to that one. We'll coil around back to that one. Back to the hair. So, Bret Michaels is flinging his wigs out everywhere. Willie Nelson nilly. Okay? Some of them hit cars. Some of these cars crash, pile-ups, whatever. Not a problem. I'm more worried about the ones that have taken root.
Hang on. I'm sorry. No, you were right. He's fucking the shit? Like, he's fucking his own shit.
Absolutely, yeah. He invites people to a cabin in the middle of the forest in Boston, in the middle of Boston Forest. And it says, it's got a sign outside that says Jeremy Renner's log processing plant. He organizes investors, shareholders, lumberjacks, anyone who might be willing to be involved in the logging business. He gets them into the cabin. He strides out from one of the back rooms, fully nude, highly erect, and says exactly what I said earlier. He says, welcome to Jeremy Renner's log processing plant. As you can see, I have wood. And as you're about to see, I'm talking about a very different kind of log, at which point he squats, curls, picks it up, and fucks it.
Okay, good. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I understood, because it wasn't entirely... Okay, so the wigs, they're being tossed out the window.
Tossed out the window.
Landing on, like, a road shoulder and decomposing there.
Most of them that hit the road are fine. They'll hit the road, they'll turn to a slop, or they'll get swept up and just discarded in the trash where it all belongs, where Bret Michaels belongs. Bret Michaels' hair, belongs. And that's no big deal. But every now and then, some of these things will hit the grass. They'll clear the road, he'll just fling it sideways, and it'll go out amongst the trees or out in a bush in the tall grass. And that's where they settle. They don't get spotted. They don't get picked up. And just a single one of these mounds of hair, once they become one with the soil, they're starting to cause a bit of an issue.
What, like polluting groundwater? Or just, I mean, I can imagine it being disgusting, but...
If we look at what we've called Case 20X...
Okay.
I've got some photos here if you'd... like to take a look, just take a look through.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it at its peak height.
That's about, like, 7-8 feet.
It's about 7-8 feet of pure hair that has started to grow branches from the looks of it. It is what we're colloquially calling a big Bret Michaels hair tree.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd have thought cactus at first, but yeah, I think you're right. There's some sort of spindly branches coming off of there.
Yeah. Now, if you will just pick up the baggie that's on the table there, just open that up and give it a little smell.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
What you've just smelled there is roughly 3 square inches of bark from this tree. I'm not going to mention that the tree seemed to very quietly wail as we scraped it off. I won't mention that, but I will. But that's besides the point. The point is you smelled 3x3 of that tree. Imagine 7 feet of it right near a busy motorway going in directly into people's air conditioning units.
This is one tree.
This is just one tree. This is the biggest, thank Christ.
But, I mean, it could affect maybe, I don't know, depending on air dispersal patterns and whether it wound up. I mean, if you imagine if it wound up in the Gulf Stream, I mean, this could carry St. Louis to New York City easily.
A tree like this, and then the smaller ones, we've got 18, 19X here. They're half the size. They're half the size, half the smell. These tree ones aren't so much an issue. Here's a photo of a wig that landed in a field that had some cows in it. I don't know if you can really make out the details here, but to me at least, that looks like it's grown up into roughly the shape of a cow.
Is it the shape of a cow, or did it just consume an entire calf?
Well, when it comes to 7X, we're not too sure.
Yeah. It could go either way. It's hard to tell. Like, if it was observed growing into this state, then, I mean, it is concerning.
That's the thing about a Bret Michaels wig, is you don't know where they've landed, so you don't know where they are until they're there.
And so, but are they taking on characteristics of other species operating in the area, or are they just consuming and mimicking them?
That's what we're currently trying to ascertain. The leading theory is that these things are growing and just taking the shape of maybe the first thing they see or scent. We're basing this theory on the fact that we've got a cow-shaped clump of hair in this field of cows and a tree-shaped clump of hair near these trees. So we think they're mimicking the environment, and for the final bit of proof for that theory, we have to go to LA.
Oh, okay.
Let me just warn you, the images you've seen so far have been concerning. And that's just what happens when Bret Michaels is on the move. When Bret Michaels spends 6 months in LA...
Oh my God.
Yeah, we don't even give this a code name. We simply call this the Lost City.
Do we have no photos from inside? Like, everything here is aerial, high angle, some satellite.
That's as close as anyone can get to it without passing out. This is roughly 5 blocks of LA that has just had Bret Michaels' hair kind of creep and crawl like vines over the buildings. You'll notice the ones right in the center point, the hot zone here, ground zero for this hair. We believe that it was once a hotel that Bret Michaels had stayed in for 6 months and was just continually tossing hair out the window of, forming a Bret Michaels hair pile that grew jealous and envious of the city around it, perhaps. That may be romanticizing the hair pile, but it did slowly and encroachingly at such a speed that nobody really noticed until it was too late, consumed that part of LA.
How are they maintaining it? How are they keeping it back? Because, I mean, clearly this is a pretty serious invasive species.
The CDC are there, obviously. They've got their big yellow suits on that look interesting. They've put up some fences to stop people going near it. So I think that's helping. Although, to be fair, the smell's keeping most people away.
I would expect, yeah.
Yeah. Like I say, these aerial photos, the last photographer tried to get closer, the helicopter just crashed in and became one with the hair. So the main issue is, does it grow further? Can we contain it? The good news is, yes, we can. The CDC, God bless their hearts, worked out that you can keep the hair pile at bay by erecting speaker systems circular around the affected area and just playing good music. it doesn't really matter what kind of music it is, so long as it's generally accepted that it's good.
Ah.
A bit of Beatles, some Elvis Presley, stuff that's just very like. There's nothing funny or interesting about it. There's nothing uniquely specific to Bret Michaels about it. They're just playing.
It just has to be good.
Yeah. They're just playing good music, and it's keeping Bret Michaels's hideous, rotting hair wig gestalt hive at bay.
But I mean, that doesn't seem. It doesn't seem like a sustainable. Like, I mean, are there still people living in that?
I wouldn't call it living. There are people existing, because obviously there were people in the Lost City at the time, but families have been instructed to think not of their loved ones again.
Okay, but okay, so then, I mean, I guess the question is what's going to be done about it? Because that doesn't seem like a long-term strategy, just keeping music playing around it 24/7.
One of them got out, Conrad.
One of the residents?
One of the residents of the Lost City. He must have been a big Moody Blues fan before he was taken, which allowed him to withstand the speakers and break through. We simply call it the Hair Crow.
The Hair Crow? Like the bird, the carrion bird.
We thought we were being clever at the time because it looked a bit like a scarecrow.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, someone pointed out that, well, really, it's like when people do the werewolf thing, and they get it wrong because they take the wolf bit out, but it's something else that turns into a wolf, and it should have been a were something else.
Oh yeah, I get you. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
See, I thought it was 2 words, hair crow, but it was 1 word, hair crow.
Hair crow works when you look at it, right? Here we go. I should have shown you the picture first.
Oh, hair crow. Oh, I get it now. Yeah, okay.
We put the floppy hat on it ourselves.
Yeah, no, that's a good look.
Yeah, it's a good look.
Good look. It really sort of makes it.
It's horrifying.
Oh no, totally. But the hat really finishes it because the tattered clothing and the expression of pain, horror on its face. I mean,
yeah. We ran some tests and drew some blood and we know it was once a man.
Okay.
But we're not sure quite what it is yet, because it is just a screaming mass of hair in the shape of a person.
So Dave Mustaine.
Yeah, should he die and we need him again for God knows what reason, we've got a steady supply of replacements.
FistShark Marketing is Jim Sterling and Conrad Zimmerman. Theme music by Ben Rama. Additional music by Alazar Chand. Our editor is Austin Yorsky. Get more episodes and learn how to support the show at FistShark.com. Follow us on Twitter at FistShark for more of our exploits. Complaints can be forwarded via email to fistsharkmarketing@aol.com. And remember, pain is your body's way of telling you need pharmaceuticals. Goodbye.